Control is just fear we keep calling protection. If you really look around, not with judgment, but with awareness, you'll see it everywhere in how we guard ourselves, even in how we love. It's so normal we don't even question it, but it's running our lives. You think you're in control, but what you think you control is actually controlling you. And it shows up in how we move, we speak, we plan, protect, hide. When I was a child, I used to travel with my mom, and there was this time that, well, it never leaves me. Flying with my mom, something happened. I was too young to understand what was happening. And the plane just started doing a nosedive. And a lot just happened in one quick moment. And that instilled a fear in me from a child of flying. Now, I've flown since then many times, but I do recognize that whenever it comes to flying, that fear and that experience comes up for me. I realize that fear's only job is to hold us back. And that's where control comes from. Most of us live inside this story without even questioning it. We say we're just being careful, or we're planning ahead, or protecting our peace, protecting our energy. Those are big ones. But underneath all of that, we're just trying not to fall apart. Basically, we're just trying not to fall apart. And that's when control is born. Control is born out of fear. And we're trying to control these situations that we are experiencing. The fear that comes from how we see ourselves and what we do to try to manage everyday outcome. It's not really about what's happening outside. It's about the identity we are trying to survive. And that feeling is a real thing, because the world tells us that it offers us things to protect ourselves, to survive. And those very things that the world offers us is what controls us in the end, because we keep reaching for these things. But if you look deeper, whatever it is, that is really now controlling you. We use control to try and avoid pain, but pain still finds us. We try to control people, but we lose connections. We try to control even our healing. The seeker, seeking truth. The person wanting to get better. But in that seeking, it feels more like we're trying to control even our healing. Truthfully, whatever we use to control our lives eventually starts to control us, because it needs to be maintained. So whatever you have to do to control the situation, you keep doing it. Because if you stop, then you are no longer in control. Or you feel like you're no longer in control. And that's the illusion. And that's why peace always feel out of reach. The part of you that's afraid, the person, the story, the name, the identity, that part gets offended, gets triggered, and clings to control. But consciousness, the awareness behind all of that, it's not offended. It doesn't need to control anything. It just watches. And that's what it means to wake up, is to realize that you are that consciousness, that awareness. You are not the one gripping for control. You are not the one trying to control the outcome, the anxiety. When I get anxious, whenever I'm driving somewhere new and I don't know where I'm going, if I know where I'm going, I realize that anxiousness is not there. But to be present, you realize that you're not the one gripping for control. You are the one who sees the gripping, who sees that you're trying to control. That's who we truly are. And I do realize that control even shows up in spirituality, in healing, in growth. We try to do it right, let go the right way, or meditate perfectly, or heal on schedule. I'm reminded of the concept of New Year's resolution. It's almost as if we set a schedule for ourselves to get better. But it feels like more control, or more managing, or more fear. And I don't want to be misunderstood here, because there's an instinctive energy in our humanity that protects, that does the things to protect itself. Things like eating. We have to eat. If we don't eat, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in our daily lives how we are prone to try to control the outcomes. To manage. We all have experienced fear, and we're trying to manage all of that. But peace, or true peace, doesn't come from controlling your experience. It comes from seeing through it. The awakening comes when you finally see that control was never real. And I'm not referring to discipline. Discipline is a practice, a devotion. But control, that's just the ego's mask. The more you try to grip or control, the more we suffer. And I feel the grief in that. the more you let go, the more you see that nothing real can be controlled. And nothing real needs to be controlled. The relationship, life in itself. Nothing real can be controlled. We spend most of our time trying to control the situation. We're trying to keep the job, stay in the relationship. We're just trying to control the situation, and it feels like surviving, but nothing real can be controlled. And if it's real, you don't need to control it. So, what if the goal isn't to control life, but to see it or see yourself clearly in it? Because when you stop trying to control, you find peace, and then you make space for truth, for peace, the kind your heart has been longing for all this time. The way control runs your life, it's subtle and it's constant. But when you see it, really, really see it, it starts to lose its grip. Not every aspect of our lives we don't control. It's just a natural flow for us there, but there are parts of our lives that I've seen in myself that I'm trying to control the outcome, either by holding on to it or controlling the outcome in some sort of way. But when you see it, when you really see how much control is trying to control you, it starts to loosen its grip. So really, there's no need to let it go, because when you see it, you've already began to let go, because you see the truth. And that's where freedom begins. So if this landed for you, sit with it. Notice where control shows up in your life, and don't shame it. It's not to shame it, because when you shame it, you create this energy. Don't shame it. It's not to be shamed, it's to be understood. You can have all the wisdom and all the knowledge, but you do need understanding. So don't try to fix it, because that might be another sneaky way of control trying to seep into the situation again. But by seeing it, you release it gently. No control. And in that, you are free. In that, you are free. Thank you. Thank you.